to call our final speaker, who will motivate us to ask, why do they even matter? Please give a round of applause for Ved.
Now, I want to start off today with a question. To find the general correlation between you individuals, of different demographics, backgrounds, families, and ideals. Now, have any of you ever felt something that you love within your soul, or you're deeply passionate about, become decimated or destroyed by another person or entity? In fact, could I have a raise of hands? Raise your hands if you ever felt judged or insecure from another person. I agree. And I think that's because social interactions and interpersonal relationships are concepts that are constant in everyday life, but we often disregard their importance to essentially conceptualizing a person's core values. And I think that people are often egocentric in the state that they don't realize that they lack self-awareness or that they can have such a huge impact on another person's life. My name is Ved Nakhwa, and today, instead of focusing and channeling the negativity of these external forces, I want to instead teach you guys how to learn to move forward and avoid these stakeholders altogether. Now, the key to this is learning to instill it in yourself. Psychosocially, Erik Erikson, trained in psychoanalysis, stated that in stage 4 of the Freud model, industry versus inferiority, holistically, students conceptualize their own personality and morals. However, when we enter the education system, we become we feel the need to seek our competence and base our lives around other people's conceptions of ourselves. And as these students, including myself, enter adolescence, we begin to feel diluted because we feel the need to constantly think about what other people think of us and base our lives around their conceptions of us, which is extremely unhealthy. And it brings me to my next point. We begin to live for other people. Now, I used to think that I needed to intrinsically motivate myself academically and socially by comparing myself to other people. And it led to my self-conscious constantly being overwhelmed with comparisons of my achievements to other people. And it was extremely unhealthy because it led to me constantly using why in the wrong perception. Why am I not like this? Why don't I look like that? Why is this hard for me? Why was I not invited? Why was I not included? Granted, this time that I was secluded and isolated allowed me to exercise, work, and explore, and study. But I now realize that in people's box, and you cannot be built in their parameters. You need to build your own by instead learning to essentially figure out what you mean to yourself and using processes like positive curiosity to incrementally and gradually build your self-confidence because it allows you to ideate your own core values. Now, I wanted to end off today this seminar and this adventure with a quote that I found in the midst of my discoveries and inspired me to come up on stage and speak to all of you. But in all honesty, I realized that our denotions of life are subjective. And you need to be able to quote your own life. You can't rely on quotes like, you can't let your inner voice be sounded out by others by Meryl Streep. Because your life is subjective. Every single person in this auditorium is different, which is beautiful. So, what I ask, when you all leave today, leave this auditorium and stop listening to me, is to instead keep the power of why in the back of your head. Ask yourself questions. Who do I think I am? And why do they even matter? Thank you.
Thank you, Ved, for your insightful talk. It truly gave us something to think about.